5:49 p.m. 1/17/2025. Um, a quick little note by yours truly here. Um, this is kind of a reminder of what this channel is. I do readings of short stories, sometimes novels, essays, novellas, plays, yada yada yada. And sometimes I ramble about stuff. I was just doing readings of short stories by Tennessee Williams, and usually when I do readings, I do them live, just because, just for kicks, really. Just in case anybody wants to listen to a live reading of a short story, and sometimes I think people just want company, you know, and it's just nice to hear somebody read out loud or feel like they're reading to them, and I feel good if somebody um, just pops in and is comfortable enough being read to, even if it's not perfect. Um, and whatever, it's a little sense of community. Somebody had joined my last reading, and was I have the chat open usually when I'm reading out loud, and if somebody writes down something trying to communicate with me, um, I don't want to be rude and not answer. If I don't answer, it's because I don't want to break the reading, not because I don't want to answer to somebody. But I truly appreciate anybody that stops by and wants to interact, or just wants to listen, or if you want to say something hopefully nice. Um, I truly appreciate it, and people are welcome to sit in and listen, and I don't know, just if they just stop by, or you don't have to thumbs up, or you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to stop by. It's fine. You can wait till I'm done reading it if you want to listen to the whole story, or you don't have to listen at all. Whatever you want to do is fine. But I just wanted to note this because somebody in the last reading um, had said something about being a new fan, and I wanted to acknowledge that really quick. I really, really appreciate people taking the time to um, relay that they enjoyed anything I've done on this channel and they liked it. Um, Again, not all my readings are perfect. Some of them, quite frankly, aren't really that good, and I just am too lazy to take them down. Um, it's it's mostly just for fun that I do this, and if people get anything positive or gain anything good off it, I'm elated. And I wanted to say thank you. And unfortunately I didn't get the name of that person. Not everybody that subscribes to me. I can't see everybody because some people keep their subscription list private. Um, and I meant to jot that person's name down, but you know who you are, and if you want to comment, you can. But let me see, on the dashboard. I can't. Let's see. Yeah, I can't see you on the dashboard. Like, I've had an influx of subscribers in the last couple weeks or so, which um, is great as long as people are enjoying it. That's fantastic. Some people are I don't, unless I know you personally. I don't know you, and you're joining hopefully because you enjoy it and get something out of it. And some people are really, really random. Um, YouTube is a really random space for people, and I can only hope my channel brings good things. But I wanted to I wanted to credit the person that was in my last um, reading of short stories. They took the time to say that they were a new fan and they liked my reading of Gore Vidal's essays. And to that, I say thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sorry I didn't respond to you in the chat. I was concentrating on reading the short story, but you took the time to say something, and I wanted to take the time to respond. And hopefully you click on this video and hear me on that one. But again, when I'm reading out loud, and if you're trying to talk to me in the chat and I don't respond, it's not that I don't want to. I'm just trying to read through the story and get and stick to the story. It's not that I don't want to interact with people, but and that's all. So I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I'm just trying to actively read and stay engaged with the story. But again, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming onto the channel. Thank you for taking the time to uh, leave a comment, and thanks for upvoting, downvoting, expressing how you feel about any of it. It means a lot. Big reason why I do this is for me to reach out. I'm a very introverted and reclusive person, and I'm trying to push myself to not be so much that way, and to try to push my intellect, because I want to, and I want to read things that I haven't read before. And even after a year or two of doing this, it still helps me to find the courage to read things I haven't read before, and read texts that seem intimidating. I don't know. It's still helpful, and it's always nice to have encouragement, and it's always nice to hear that people like it. And I'm not sure if you were the person that was here before. If you are, I did see your message, and I'm just crediting you with that. I don't know if you're the person. Okay, they just left. Anyhow, that's all I wanted to say. I was kind of hoping they'd pop back in so I could talk to them personally, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I was gonna keep rambling until they did, but I don't know that they will. And if they don't, that's okay. But yeah, I've read through a lot of Tennessee Williams' works in the last couple months. I'm reading through his short stories. I've had to skip a couple because of content that I'm not particularly comfortable reading, but let's see. I'm looking through it. I didn't realize there were so many short stories, but I'd read through this book before, but I don't think I'd read all of it, and so that was kind of a goal of mine, was to read all of it. The person that joined, are you the person that was in the last video? It says there's somebody here. I don't know if you're here or not. If you are, I was trying to thank you. I was trying to credit you if you were the person. Now I feel bad. Let's see. I have the chat open. Okay, they left. All right, I'm going to have to stop because I'm going to say that to every person that pops in, and it's not the person. It's okay, though. Let's see. So in this short storybook of mine, it has like, it's like the genesis of of plays I've already read on the channel, which is really interesting. Like the Glass Menagerie was from Portrait of a Girl in Glass, and The Night of the Iguana is an early version of The Night of the Iguana, and Kingdom of Earth is in here, and the let's see. I feel like I've read 3 versions of The Eccentricities of a Nightingale, or trying to see if there's any others. Das Wasser ist kalt. Is that whole story in German? Let me see. That'd be fun. I don't know how to read German. I know how to fake languages, or I can fake languages. I can't read them. Das Wasser ist kalt. Something is cold. Probably, I think. I don't know, but I don't know if I'm gonna read all of these stories. I'll read a lot of them, but I had to skip over some of them that I wasn't particularly comfortable reading. But yeah, that's all. I really hope that person comes across this little mini rambling, and because I wanted to acknowledge them and thank them. And I'm just talking in circles. So I hope you come across this video and hear me crediting you and want to thank you. So and maybe I'll do a couple more readings tonight. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're here. Good. You pay croquer? Oh, thank you. No, I was just rambling and saying I'm sorry I didn't talk to you in the last video. I was just trying to read through the story. When I'm reading a story, I don't interact with people because I'm trying to get through the story. It's not because I want to ignore anybody. I'm glad you came back because I wanted to thank you for stopping by. Like, personally, thank you. And yeah, it's fun. I do think. Yeah. I think there's something to reading out loud to people. Sometimes when I do it, I'm just doing it I'm reading to myself because nobody's here, which is fine. But it's I'm challenging myself, but also kind of opening the door to let people listen to stories and essays and stuff. And so it's a win-win, you know. I'm pushing myself, and I'm hopefully doing a service to people that want to hear stories they might not have otherwise heard if they don't have access to it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because these stories, I haven't read these stories before. And I was just babbling that like I've read, like, say, like, I'm reading Tennessee Williams stories, right? So I know, like, the Glass Menagerie, but, like, there's a short story that it originates from called The Portrait of a Girl in Glass. So even though I know it, I don't know it because I hadn't read it before, because I like to go into these cold. And sometimes that makes for an interesting experience, and sometimes it makes for a not so good experience because I'm not as informed or well read on the subject matter, so it comes out kind of garbled. Yeah. Oh, good. I do want to warn you that not all the essays are well read. Some of them are not good at all. But you can always choose to not listen to it or click off or find it somewhere else. Because some of Gore Vidal's essays are a little bit higher threshold. I haven't. I haven't. I'll have to check that person out. I haven't. V.S. Naipaul's? See, like, I don't even know how to pronounce it correctly, probably, but no, I haven't. I want to see if I'm familiar with the person. Let me see. But Gore was a huge challenge because that essay book is like a cinder block. It's huge. And it had been sitting on my desk for years. And I was intimidated to read it because it seemed kind of insurmountable. And so I thought, well, why don't I just read them aloud and throw them up on my YouTube channel? And that way, like, I don't know, I could muscle through it and see if I can't learn something, see if I can't if I did it wrong, somebody could tell me about it, you know? And then, like, little by little, I was going through it until ultimately I'd gone the whole way through. And I think there's something important to that, kind of sticking with it. And even though I'm not, like, an expert on the subject matter, like, I learned a lot. Yeah. I learned a lot, and I haven't mastered what, he wrote, and I'm not mastered on, like, the information that he shared and what he knows, but I've at least started on it and kind of opened that door a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Oh, good. Good. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Thank you very much for taking the time to write these comments. I appreciate it very much. That's very kind. Yeah, these are spur of the moment when I'm on the mood to read a little bit. Let's see. V.S. Naipaul. Trinidadian British author. Oh, okay. Trinidad. Let's see. Works of fiction and nonfiction in English. He is known for his comic early novels set in Trinidad. Have I heard of any of his works? I'm not sure if I have. Let's see. I feel a little bit ignorant. I'm not as well read as a lot of other people, so. Let's see. Magic Seeds, Half a Life, Way in the World. He was a pretty prolific writer. Yeah, and he did a lot of nonfiction. Grief, yeah. Let's see. And he passed away 7 years ago. Okay. No, I'll definitely have to check him out. I feel a little ashamed I haven't heard of him, but again, I'm not as well read as other people are, so. Let's see. India. Million Mutinies now. Islamic Excursions. Yeah, he pushed himself. Yeah, all these clearly intelligent, clearly pushed themselves. And with Gore Vidal, it was easier for me to listen to him speak before I started reading the written word and the text. But the hearing him speak was a nice gateway into reading his works. And not that I have to do that with every writer, but I don't know. It was just a natural inlet for me. And luckily, he's as eloquent as he is legible. So that's very nice. But V.S. Naipaul's, if I'm saying it right. No, I haven't. I don't know his works too well. So I'd have to check that out. He won the Booker Prize, the Jerusalem Prize, the Trinity Cross, the Nobel Prize in Literature. There you go. So, yeah, I got a lot to learn and a lot to kind of dive into. So, and I think authors like Gore Vidal and Tennessee Williams are a little easy. Yeah. Okay. The Power and the Shine. Yeah. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Well, I think I do okay with vocabulary, but substance and uh, subject, I struggle a little bit. Like, I'm not as knowledgeable about history and geography and clearly some literature. But I mean, the only way you're gonna expand on that is if you push yourself, and that's what I'm trying to work up the nerve to do. So thank you. That's very sweet. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, he is a giant. I'm trying to think if I'd ever heard of him before. I don't know. Prudhomme. Yes, Naipaul. I don't even know if I'm saying his name correctly. He wrote in prose that was widely admired, but his views sometimes aroused controversy. Well, I don't know that you'd be a well-known author if you didn't, so it's quite all right. That doesn't bother me so much. Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago. August 1932. Yeah, he and Vidal had kind of the same timeline, eh? Interesting time to be alive, I will say. So, let's see. But yeah, no, I appreciate you popping in, and maybe I should put that in my bookmark this tab. I have like a long list of bookmarks, and I'll bookmark that so I won't forget it, and that way I could check it out. See novels, fiction and nonfiction. The Mimic Men. Yeah, I tried to read but yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I tried reading Julian a little while ago, and that was kind of a little bit above me, so I might have to revisit that. Like, I can follow it okay, but unless I really lock in and hone in, I get a little bit lost. So, and I don't like to do that. So, kind of keep it on an easy shelf, but try to push it a little bit. For me, Tennessee is a little bit easy, which is fine. But I don't want to criticize it. It's not he's not lower tier. He's certainly what am I trying to say? He's not layman. He's just easier for me to read because I'm more familiar with him. Is what I'm trying to say. Not that he isn't a giant himself, but yeah, I hadn't. I don't know that I'd actually ever read Streetcar before. I'd certainly seen the film, but I don't know. Like some works that you like that you've seen adapted into film form, I'd never actually read. Like I was reading Patty Chayefsky last summer and fall, I think. I'd have to scroll back. But I'd never actually read Network, and I was still debating about checking that out. I think I have the script form of that. I'm not sure, but that's interesting to me. So like, I'm really into playwrights. I don't know. That's interesting to me for some reason. Not necessarily reading it aloud, but seeing the genesis of an idea into a short story, into a play, into a screenplay. That's interesting. But yeah, that's cool. I really, again, I really appreciate you stopping by. Did you check Beckett, Samuel Beckett? I've had conversations with former friends about Beckett, and a little bit, but not. I haven't dove into Beckett. I know of him, but I'm not well read on him. A little ashamed to say, but yeah, I know it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Reading. Yeah, he's one that I haven't dove into. Oh, wow. He did an essay on Proust. That's interesting. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, maybe I'll bookmark him too. No, he's been in my mind. He's just not at the forefront, but he's in there. That's interesting. Yeah, I should probably keep him. One of the last modernist writers and a key figure in what Martin Estlin called the theater of the absurd. Wow. Theater of the absurd is a post-World War II designation for particular plays of absurdist fiction. A number of primarily European playwrights in the late 1950s. Oh, well, shoot. And Samuel Beckett was from Dublin, Ireland. He died in Paris, France. And he's buried in France. Interesting. Let's see. Interesting. Top level essayist, wonderful things. Yeah. I Gore Vidal was talking about, or an interview had asked him once, what's your favorite form of the written word? And he said essay. And the interviewer he wasn't taken aback, but he was kind of like, really? And why? And he said something a little bit profound that always stuck with me, is that with an essay, it's a direct link between the writer and reader, like they're talking to you. And it's not to say that a play or a novel or a short story isn't, but there's this different tone, I think, of communication, relaying information and opinion in an essay that's different than that of short story, novel, screenplay, novella, what have you. And I think he's right. And that kind of was also a push to read his essays, Gore's essays. So, yeah. An essay on things that don't exist. Yeah. Yeah. Fictional poetic essay. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, gosh. You're more well read than me. So, that's cool, though. That's cool. Fictional poetic essay. Things that don't exist. Well, that's an area of thinking that you could go on and on for. A lot of uncharted territory there, I think. So, the glass bead game. Novel by Herman Hesse. Yeah, I was let's see. Yeah, no. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, I if I don't respond when I'm reading, it's cuz I want to read the text in one full reading. It's not cuz I'm trying to ignore anybody or you. I appreciate you stopping in and talking a little bit. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And take care and thanks for listening. Pleasure. Pleasure. Sure. Take care, huh? All right. The Glass Bead Game is the last full-length novel by the German author Hermann Hesse. It was begun in 1931 in Switzerland, where it was published in 1943 after being rejected for publication in Germany due to Hesse's anti-fascist views. Interesting. The Glass Bead Game. Magister Ludi, Latin for master of the game. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. And so glad he came back. Because I wanted to acknowledge people that stop in and talk. Um, it is nice and refreshing to talk to people about literature, and there's a special connectivity there that I don't think should be lost. I don't want to be lost. I don't want it to be lost. So this was nice. So yeah, if anybody else listens to this and reads the chat, I think the chat saves. I hope it is. I'm pretty sure I marked it as such. Um, I don't know, if you catch me at the right moment, I'll talk to you about. I'll ramble to you about. I don't know, whatever topic arises. But it's 6:20 p.m. 1/17/2025. Um, and thanks all for listening. I might get back to reading. All right, thank you.